Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This is going to be game number 5 between MarineLord and viOLet. There's obviously no point in hiding the score at this point. It is 2 apiece. If you haven't seen the previous games, I really recommend seeing those. This has been one of the most action-packed series of this whole tournament that I've casted so far. Now, I haven't done many of the games, admittedly, but every game that I've casted so far with these two guys have been some of the best ones which I've seen so far. So let's jump into the game. As per usual, of course, leave the video a thumbs up if you're one of my common subscribers. I already expect you to have done that already, and let's see how this game progresses, and we'll see, of course, who moves on to the round of 8 as well. So continuing on with the StarCraft 1 Brood War music in the background. Hope you are enjoying that. And while we have a very quiet moment here, and actually, strangely enough, what's going on here? Oh, he's actually putting down the hatchery first. I was like, why is there no production going down? That's really strange, but no, he's just going for the hatchery. I kind of forgot about that. Okay, so while we have the quiet part of the game, I want to ask you guys to ask me a question for answer me a question from this video. The question is gonna be, who is your favorite StarCraft 2 pro player? Now, my favorite player, I'm gonna name one for each race because I cannot really have one single most favorite player of all. So, from Zerg, since I'm looking at Zerg right now, I absolutely have to say TLO. TLO is a super cool guy. He is super friendly, super nice. He's obviously a top tier pro player as well, and he is also super awesome on Twitter. He sometimes retweets my tweets, which is super cool. And yeah, TLO, pretty damn awesome. Now, on the Terran side, since we're looking at Terran right now, I would have to say that right now, I mean, MMA used to be one of my favorite players, but unfortunately he's actually retired at this point, so that's a little bit of a tough decision. I can't say it's MarineLord, like, admittedly, but let's see, what have we got here? I can't quite think of who is my favorite Terran player right now. I'll get back to you about that one. And as for Protoss, it absolutely has to be probably either Huck or Hawk, I would say. Yeah, he's probably my favorite. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. He seems to be very on top of his game. He's super active on Twitter as well, so he's always interacting with his audience and his fans and all this kind of stuff, so pretty damn awesome. Another awesome Protoss player is Showtime, but unfortunately I haven't seen a whole lot of him yet, and he doesn't seem to be one of those players that releases a whole lot of videos, so unfortunately the only times I get to cast him is actually in tournaments, so meh, it's unfortunate. But hey, look, you gotta do with what you gotta do, with what you have, I mean. So breaking down the destructible rocks, which some of my viewers have educated me about, basically to not automatically, auto-click them by accident in the middle of a fight, or very engaging and very intensive fight. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, just in case some of you did not know that. But looks like MarineLord has opted to not destroy that just yet. Maybe he'll destroy it later. Just denying some scouting. I want to see exactly what is being seen. He's obviously seen the gas. He is not aware of the... Oh, sorry. He might actually be aware of this if he saw one of the workers coming through. So let's see. Third base is on the way for viOLet. So viOLet looks like he's going for like serious economy right now. He's getting himself a third base so early. I mean, 3 minutes 50 is pretty early considering he's already getting roaches as well. And looks like it's going to get spotted pretty much immediately. So that's going to give a good bit of information from MarineLord. He's going to know that, okay, maybe I can punish this, because realistically, if he's going for an expansion already, chances are all he's got himself is Zerglings, which, you know what, is exactly what he has. So yeah, everything looks pretty good right now. He's blocking off here, MarineLord. I mean, he's blocking off the natural expansion, which of course is pretty standard. He wants to have a block off at every possible entrance to his bases, because obviously he doesn't want to get any sort of shenanigans going on with these Zerglings, since they're so bloody fast. Let's see, 4 Hellions being loaded into the base, so that's actually quite perfect. There's roaches on the way now, and of course Lair as well, so he's going to be prepared for these Hellions in a few minutes, or a few seconds. He definitely needs to make use of them. Come on, dude, make use of them before... Now he's distracted some of the units, but as you can see, oh, the lineup, oh my god, the beautiful hits with those, already killing off 6 of the drones, but these roaches doing some work on those Hellions. Unfortunately for MarineLord, losing a little bit too much there. I mean, he's killed off 6 drones, yeah, sorry. But honestly, I don't know, he lost a lot of Hellions there. I think he didn't do as much as he would have liked. I mean, he had some beautiful lineups there, but he just didn't do as much damage as I can imagine he wanted to do. I mean, I can imagine with like 5 or 6 Hellions, you probably expect to roast that whole mineral line, but it just didn't quite work out for him. So it is, I would say, a little bit disappointing for how many Hellions he actually lost for that. But hey, look, it happens. Sometimes your lineups don't quite work as well as you'd like, and maybe he just got one straight clean shot right through them without actually spreading the Hellion fire too much. So let's see, these super fast units gonna get cleaned up here. Just one Hellion remaining. Is gonna get picked off. Oh, so close. No, doesn't manage to pick it off. Unfortunately for viOLet, manages to get away there. Let's have a look at the units lost. We've got ourselves. Oh, look, we actually got units getting destroyed as well at the moment. So it looks like that's the Liberator. And how many of these queens are going to lose? Looks like just one queen has been destroyed. And of course the 2 drones as well. Oh, a second Liberator is in position already. Going to be just out of range for that Spore Crawler. And as well the queen just about managing to survive there. It looks like we've got ourselves a counterattack. This is a bunch of roaches. I mean, that's a lot. This is a big difference in supply right now. And is he going to be able to break through here? Does manage to break the bunker down. What is he going to do? He's going to continue on with the aggression. Doesn't look like he's too scared of these units. But should he be? Honestly, I don't know. He's got himself more reinforcements streaming in here very, very quickly. That's a lot of roaches. And I think that he might just come out on top here. But this Liberator really is going to make a big difference here right now. If he manages to take off a few of these roaches, it's going to be a big problem for viOLet. Army supplies are so similar right now. But 14 SCVs have been killed off already. 15 SCVs, that is. So quite good damage. Did a lot of economic damage. 47 to 63 worker supply, which again, like in the previous game, is not too bad. I mean, he can still recover. As you can see, he's got himself a bunch of mules. So despite the fact that he's 18 drones ahead, as you can see, armies or income supply is actually exactly the same. Yeah, it's pretty much sitting at 1700 apiece. So very good income still for both of our players, despite the fact losing so many workers. Mules overpowered. Hashtag mules overpowered. Picking off one free overlord here. Don't want to let any overlord scout your base, because of course that would be a little bit of a problem for you. Looks like we've got ourselves a drop coming down here as well. Is that 2 medevacs full? Got ourselves, what's that, 5 marauders and 6 marines, sorry. Bringing those inside the main base right now. Picking off a Spore Crawler. I don't think this is the best use of these units right now. But is he going to have enough damage to clean this up? I mean, no. He is going to have to back off here before he loses too many units to these Roaches and Ravagers. They have a whole bunch of DPS, but the mobility of the Terran is going to give him a big advantage here. The Zerg player is going to have to split his army up, which is exactly what he's doing. But he looks like he's going to actually snipe off the hatchery. That's actually quite good. Oh, wow. That was a really good Gross of Bile hit. That was really nice. One more like that, and that could have ended in disaster for MarineLord. Looks like level 2 Carapace is on the way for Zerg. Level 1 weapons, ranged weapons that is. And MarineLord is actually getting level 1 armor and level 2 armor and weapons for his bio army. And it looks like that's actually also level 1 siege weapons as well, so possibly going to switch into some siege tank very shortly. As you can see, he does have another factory on the way, so he's going to have a total of 2, I believe. Yeah, that's 2. Let's see, there's 6 roaches inside of those overlords. As I said, these games are just so much better than some of the previous games that we've had. It's just so much action. Got drops going left and forth. We've got ourselves engagements everywhere. Harassment. Everything is going on exactly as it should. Aggressive, which I believe is exactly what Blizzard wanted the game to turn into. Now he picked off the actual the missile turret. I wonder what the decision was, or why the decision was behind that. So he's bringing some of his roaches. I wonder, you can't actually see them when they're burrowed. I mean, I don't know, is that... No, I don't think you can see them if they're not moving, so that's pretty awesome. Definitely awesome. He's going to have to waste so many scans. This is brilliant play right there. I mean, he's going to have the missile turret here shortly, but it's going to take a while still. He probably needs to move that roach away, though. Once he moves that away, I mean, would MarineLord really waste another scan on that? I mean, probably makes no sense. 57 energy, 39, so he's only got one scan available right now. Definitely doesn't want to use his last scan on this. And looks like there's missile turrets being put up pretty much everywhere, so definitely going to have to be super careful with these roaches not to lose them. I mean, it's only 3 roaches, but at the end of the day, they could do a lot of damage in the background while this army is distracting the main gate. So there we go, combat shield and level 2 weapons and armors on the way. This is going to be a super important power spike for the Terran player right now. MarineLord, is he going to be here on time? Looks like level 2 siege weapons is on the way as well. And here we go, the main engagement. There's a bit of a surround here for the Zerg, but not a whole lot. The units from the bottom have been cleaned up at this point. There's siege tanks in the back. There's 3 in total, I believe. And I believe that MarineLord is actually coming out on top here. He's going to be chasing down his opponent. This Grossobiles is being put down, dodging all those. That was a lot of Grossobiles, and all of them actually being dodged quite nicely. Just a few units getting picked off from the back, but really, really good play here from viOLet. Just preventing his opponent from just, you know, going all in on the stim engagements. Look at this. He's actually chasing the units while burrowed. I wonder what the thought process behind that is. Oh, I see. He wants to pick off the siege tanks. Oh no, the siege tanks. He's not going to get them all, but still getting a few of these pickoffs is going to be super important while the main army actually engages onto the you know, the main army from the bios. That was really, really good. I have to say, I'm going to include that in one of my top plays because that was really, really clever play by viOLet. Super creative, using his roaches to basically to kill all of the reinforcing tanks which were not being lifted off by the medevacs, which I think is a bit of a mistake. Definitely needed to lift those off because that, of course, is super, super overpowered in my opinion. Let's see the engagements here. I think that the Zerg player is coming out on top. As you can see, we've got ourselves Ultralisks, level 3 Carapace and Chitinous Plating on the way as well. Level 1 attack or melee attacks also on the way, so that's going to be up very shortly. Once that's up, those Ultras are going to do that extra bit of damage to this bio army. That's a lot of medevacs, by the way. That's a total of 13 medevacs. Level 3 weapons and armor is also on the way from MarineLord, so he is preparing with that tech. He definitely wants to beat those Ultras. I mean, once those Ultras come out, the level 3-3 is not going to make much of a difference versus Ultras anyway, since they're going to do like 1 damage per hit every time they slap that Ultralisk. It's going to be like hitting a rock with your fists. Essentially, you would need like 40 Marines just to take on 1 Ultralisk, and that is super inefficient. So there we go, this base finally getting re-established. That's the 3rd base, by the way, whereas viOLet is actually establishing his 5th base right now, so he's doing quite well to stay ahead of his opponent. Let's have a look at the income tab. Looks like income is actually heavily favoring viOLet, probably due to the fact that the main base for MarineLord is fully mined. Oh no. Uh-oh. I see what this is. This is really bad for MarineLord. I mean, he's got himself 1 mining base right now. 1 base. He needs to establish more bases. Oh, sorry, he actually has this one as well. So 2 mining bases. Correction, he has 4 bases. So 2 mining bases at the moment versus, I believe, a total of 3. So he definitely needs to re-establish his economy a little bit better. I mean, he's doing better than I thought. I thought he was only on 1 base, but 2 bases is, I suppose it's still okay versus 3 bases from the Zerg. But he definitely needs to get that economy rolling, and he needs to get Ghost out, because right now, this Ultralisk army is gonna go nuts here. Look at the amount of damage that they take. Absolutely nothing. That was a bit counterproductive with how I said it. But anyways, you get the point. These Ultras just tearing straight through his army. And viOLet, I believe, has just taken his game 70 to 126. And GG has been called. viOLet takes game number 5. Moving on to the round of 8. Wow. As I said, these games are just ridiculously action-packed in comparison to some of the series we've had so far. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Of course, leave the video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in game number 5. Correction, next series. Bye-bye.